Welcome back everyone to the 19th hole, the show where we continue long after the final putt. Tonight's guest is someone who has seen the game from almost every angle. First becoming Switzerland's number one, then competing on the LET, the Ladies European Tour, all the way to play for Switzerland at the Olympics in Rio, and now building her own identity off the course as an entrepreneur working in personality and team development. And what makes it even more special, she's one of us. She's from here, from Zug. Please have a warm welcome from Fabienne In-Albon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Madhu is not here today, as you can see, because he's practicing in a golf tournament to beat me, as we know. So I don't know how that will go, but he needs some practice for sure. So that's why we're only the two of us tonight on stage. So yeah, but before we come to your story, let's stay in the present for a second. It feels like a whole circle pretty much, because when we started the show a year ago with Cedric, it was also just after the Masters. And somehow it feels like this year was even crazier than the Masters from last year. Once again, the Masters just delivered. Like the pressure, the momentum swings on Saturday and Sundays. It felt like everybody could win. Did you watch it a little bit too? And do you still feel it as a player, or do you watch it from the other side now?
I did follow it. I did watch some of it. Of course, I didn't watch all of it. I didn't watch until the middle of the night.
Oh, no?
No. Because, I usually get up very early in the morning, so I can't handle that. I'm too old for this now. So I just watched a little bit, but of course I followed it. And yeah, it was very interesting to see. And now for me, it's... it's a bit of both sides. I sometimes still feel those nerves and the pressure and what they go through, and even the thoughts. If they struggle, I kind of know what is going on in the mind, etc. But then on the other side, I watch it a lot more relaxed as well, because I'm just glad I don't need to deal with all of that anymore.
So you don't really miss the feeling?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I miss the nerves, standing on that first tee and, imagining Rory McIlroy as a defending champion standing on that first tee. These nerves I definitely miss.
Especially after Saturday, where we kind of
struggled a little bit. Exactly. So, I miss these kind of moments. I miss the emotions, when... winning or just making these clutch shots and putts and things like that. So I definitely miss that. But yeah, there's the other side of golf as well, where it's not as easy, the struggles.
What's the other side?
Just the struggles when you can't get out of the bunker with 3 shots or something like that.
Oh, like Bryson.
Exactly.
Here we go.
And then, these feelings, I feel for them. So
like Ha Tong Lee making a 10 on 13.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen, because we probably have already been to bed.
I've been to bed, but I've heard about it. So.
Yeah. I mean, he putted into the water. That's pretty...
It's just golf,
golf,
It happens. I mean, on one side, it's great because it just shows they're all humans and they're all making mistakes, and that's okay. But sometimes when you've been there, you just know how it feels, and you sometimes feel for them. So
yeah. So what do you think people underestimate most about that pressure?
Just what it means, it's it's so much more than just competing on that stage. It's the pressure of the outside, in the end, it's us that puts the pressure on ourselves, We're the only ones that can create pressure. But of course, there are the sponsors, there's the media, there's the competitors, there's the spectators, the fans, it's all that comes together. And you just want to perform at your very best. And there's so many, on that level, each and everyone can play great golf, you know?
Yeah.
And they're all fantastic players. And in the end, those little things decide whether they can bring it or not. And people underestimate how much a tiny little thing can make a difference, Whether you've slept well, whether you've ate the breakfast that you always wanted to eat, whether, there was traffic, and all these little things, they can add up. And sometimes it's only that little puzzle piece which is missing that can lead to, you know, a lot more pressure. So I think it's a lot more behind the scenes than what people see. And, you know, that's one thing I often see now, especially when I'm commentating on TV. It's like when someone makes a bad shot, people often comment, oh, you know, that would be so easy. You know, why is she or he doing that? And I'm standing there thinking, I'm so glad I didn't hear that when I was a player. Because when you're a player, you're just completely in the zone. And now I can hear it because I'm just right next to them. And I'm thinking, like, just grab that club and go out there and do it, because it's just so much more than a golf shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the conditions are so much more harder than when you just play a random round of golf on a Saturday or a Monday.
Absolutely.
And that's what they just can't, like, you can't see it or feel it if you've never done it. So
I mean, I remember my very first tournament as a professional, or one of the first tournaments as a professional, and that was in Spain. And I had like a 2.5 meter putt to make the cut. And suddenly, I've never had that before. So I was standing over that putt thinking like, well, I have to make this putt. Otherwise, I can't pay the hotel, right?
Okay.
And suddenly you struggle with these thoughts. And you're like, where is that coming from? You know, so before that, you know, you never thought about, you know, oh, if I make it or not, yeah, it would be great to make it. But if not, then there's another one, you know. And suddenly, you know, there's so much more at stake. And I think that's something we need to be aware of.
Did you make it?
I did make it.
Well done.
I stopped though. When the thought came up, I kind of stepped back and then I restarted.
Right.
I'm glad I did that.
Perfect. I mean, just going back to you said the most pressure you put on yourself. I think it was McIlroy who also said 2 years ago, there's no one else who wants to win the Masters more than I do, which is pretty much what you said, right? So, but let's go back a little bit in time. So how did you actually get into golf?
It's a funny story. It's actually my dad who came up with the idea. I also have a brother who's 3 years older than me, and my dad came up and said, oh, why don't you start playing golf? And, you know, we tried everything, and they really made sure that we could experience all the different sports and, you know, try them out. And then when he came up with golf, we thought, like, golf? I mean, I'm not sure about that. And my mom and my brother said, oh, let's just go and try. So then I thought, okay, let's go and try. And we went to Enete, to Holthuizen. And my motivation, because it then changed. I was like, okay, listen, this is a really good thing here, because my brother, he was very good at everything. You know, you could put skis on him, on his feet, and he was great. You could, at school, you know, he wasn't struggling. And I was just always working so hard for everything, right? And then I thought, hey, with golf, he doesn't have the 3 years ahead of me, right? So we're starting together. So that is my chance to finally be better than him, right? So that was suddenly my motivation. I was 10 years old. And unfortunately, it didn't end up like that, because he was very good at golf as well. And I struggled. That ball just didn't move.
How old were you? 10 years old.
Yeah. All right. And that ball just didn't move from that driving range. So, and if he moved, then it probably moved backwards. I don't know. So, I wasn't very good at it. And I just always had that motivation in my mind. I just want to be better than him for once, you know, and that kept me going. And then with 12 years old, I finally made the Platzreifeprüfung. It took me 2 years. 2 years, 4 times. I did it 4 times. I think this is an absolute world record.
We'll check that.
And suddenly enjoyed the game. Suddenly I was like, oh, this is cool. Now I can actually play on the course and this is more fun. And from then onwards, it just went up and up and up.
Yeah, the 2 years must have been painful.
It was, you know, because it was at an age of 10 years old, you know, it was just a lot of fun to be around the juniors and, you know, just did anything else but playing golf.
Everybody went on the course and you just stayed on the driving range.
They just said, you can come back next time. I'm like, okay. So, I struggled a bit, but, you know.
Okay. But
now I'm better than him.
I hope so, yeah. But he's still a good player, right?
He's a very good player. I'm actually impressed because he doesn't play much. I would say he plays like 1 week a year.
All right.
And then he grabs this golf club and hits shots. And I'm like, where, how? And now I'm not practicing anymore. I'm really struggling,
So you're not better anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you are still.
I'm not sure. A little bit, maybe.
So for you, it was never a thing where you thought like, okay, it's not any more talent. It's work now. For you, it was kind of always a bit more work.
Yeah, it was a lot more work. I mean, I always explain it because at the beginning, I always said I had no talent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually an interesting part because people never believed me. Well, when I say it nowadays, you go to the Olympics and you say, I didn't have any talent. And they're like, come on, you can't go to the Olympics with no talent. And I actually thought about that and realized that I do have talent. The question is just in what?
Yeah.
Right? So my talent wasn't maybe the sporting skills, right? But my talent was the discipline and working hard and things like that, so the ambition. And I think that was my talent.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It always
still
depends, or where you what do you say was the talent, right? Because maybe if, let's say, John Daly would have had your talent, that would have gone
a long way.
Maybe. Right?
And that's the thing, I think a lot of people, everyone should think about, what is my talent? And it doesn't always have to be the obvious, right? For me, it wasn't the obvious. And then really finding out, okay, but there are other talents that you can have. And hard working or ambitious or, that discipline, that can definitely be a talent.
So you say those three that were your talent?
I think so.
That's why you ended up better than your brother.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So, and then you kind of you picked it up, did you go to national teams? And then I think Switzerland's #1 at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I was 13, I actually won the Swiss championship under 14 for the first time.
Oh, so you made
so within the year, I actually made a quite huge move. Those 2 years were tough, but then suddenly, when it works, it works. But I mean, it was under 14, still. And then, and with 15 years old, I pretty much knew that I wanted to become a professional golfer.
Okay.
So I said to my parents, I want to go to the Sportgymnasium in Davos, the sports school, because I was here at the Conti in Zug.
Yeah.
And I really, because I needed to work so hard for everything, I really struggled to bring everything under the hat. It was like working a lot for school to be, decent or good at it, and then working a lot for golf, and just everything together was a lot.
Yeah.
So I told them I actually want to go to the Sportgymnasium, and from then onwards, I came to the national team when I was 15 years old, and then the pathway was all direction.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, Davos is it's quite high up in the mountains, right?
It's great for golf.
Is it?
Balls fly so much further.
Oh, yeah, true.
And that's very good for me because, I'm not really a long hitter. So
I remember one short story with you and Celia.
Oh, dear. What is that?
I think she had a 7-iron and you had what?
I don't know.
A hybrid? Or
probably. No, I wasn't
but that thing went
long
straight.
hitter. But see, that's the thing. I was very consistent and very precise.
Yeah.
That was another talent. No, that was maybe a skill, but it wasn't very long. And Davos, they just fly a little bit longer, so it makes you feel...
How high is it? 1,800?
1,500?
Yeah. So kind of similar to Gran Montana,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about 10%.
That's good.
7 to 10% more. But you always needed to adapt. When then you go play a tournament in Spain, it was...
And you suddenly
was like, what happened with my length?
So and then you went over to Purdue for a full scholarship. How did that feel suddenly? Because it's more like a team over there, right? How did that feel to come from an individual sport to kind of go into a team?
Well, I struggled. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, the 1 year in America was definitely one of my toughest years. And I actually thought, I had all these offers from these colleges, and I went to visit some of them and thought, oh, this is great. Suddenly it's a team sport, and you can win together, you lose together. And I thought that sounded really good to me. But then when I was over there, I realized I'm just the individual athlete, because yes, I'm a team player, I would say, but it went that far that you had no choice. Like, it was always like, what is the best for the team and not what is the best for the individual player. And I struggled with that, to be honest, because after a tournament, when you feel like, hey, I need to work on my putting, and they thought, no, we go to the range, then we went to the range. And I'm like, well, the long game was good. I need to get the feel for my putting back, So it was always that I struggled with. And the other thing is as well, it was great because I was number one in Switzerland, was playing really well, but then you go over to the States and suddenly there are hundreds of you. So I think that is a good point to bring you down to earth, and you realize, okay, it's not just me, there are a lot more.
Yeah.
But the other thing I struggled with is that you are just a number, right?
Yeah.
And that you get treated like a number.
Okay.
So it's like when you don't perform, the next one just comes, and they don't care, how you feel about that. And that was the case in the university I went to. Maybe it's different in some others, but a lot of things that I did struggle a bit with.
And I think you came back after 1 year, right?
I did.
Yeah. Because I remember we were in Italy at the camp, and then we had the morning training with Fabienne, which was always starting at like 5 a.m. So it was like you could barely see your shoes, and then just out on the golf course.
We went running, everything.
Everything. We were just, fuck.
What is she doing? She learned that in America.
Yeah.
Like, we had the 6 a.m. workouts, and when you were 1 minute too late to practice, you had an extra session at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. But we were never late.
It was like army. It was like the army. So,
but we were never late. No.
Are you sure?
No,
sure.
Always there on time.
Good.
We still had to get up at 5.
There we go.
No, and then you went over.
But it didn't hurt, right?
No, it was good. No, it was fine. I mean, it's always nice.
That's why I can't watch the Masters until the end.
You could just go straight into the
into the workout.
I remember you kind of lost a little bit the fire for the golf, if I remember right.
That is right. I actually stopped playing after America.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason, maybe just to kind of make it a round story, the reason why I came back after 1 year was because of health issues. So I had an eating disorder, I got into an eating disorder, and then was really struggling. And the only option was to come back home. To kind of somehow survive all this, I needed to come back. And of course, that was a huge struggle, because for me, it was just pure failure at that point. And when I came back, of course, the first focus was, or priority was, to get healthy again. But that year really took it out of me completely. And I lost the joy for the golf. I lost the joy for life. So I was quite low in that moment, to be honest. Yeah. And it took a while.
All right. What helped you out of it?
It's a good question. What helped me out of it? I think because I was only like 40 kilos at that stage, I don't think I had any energy left to have a fire, right? I mean, to put it that way. So when I came back, I had a lot of support from my family and my team at that stage, or my coaches. And I think they were the ones who helped me to get back step by step. And I think as soon as energy came back, I realized that the fire came back as well. Slowly, but something was there still, because I knew this was always my life. And I think I just didn't have enough energy to dream, to think big, to dream big, to do anything big, And that's I think that was the reason. As soon as the energy came back, that fire came back, I guess.
Nice. So so you think probably then nutrition is a
huge
very
part.
important part of,
it's the whole energy and mindset, of course,
Yeah.
But I think that's when we put it on a positive note on the golf course, it's, when we don't have energy, we don't have the good focus, the real focus. So we can't focus, we can't concentrate. And when we can't concentrate, we're not hitting good shots.
Yeah.
Right? So how do we get that energy is, of course, one way is the nutrition. So that's why we should eat something on the golf course. A lot of people don't eat, don't drink, don't do anything.
Or drink the wrong stuff.
Or the wrong stuff, exactly, only when they make birdies. But because they don't eat, then they don't make birdies, and then we struggle, So I think it's, energy is a big thing, but physically, but also mentally. That's why it's important to bring that energy in.
Yes.
By the nutrition, but also by the environment you're in and what you do to help you feel good. And I think Australia, maybe we come to Australia. Australia was definitely...
We can go right in there.
We can go straight in there, okay. I think Australia was another step for me to increase that fire again and to bring that energy back. Because after, I think, came back from the States and then I was here maybe a year or so. And then I went to Australia. So all the way to the other side of the world. Don't know if my parents really liked that from the beginning when I said I actually want to go to Australia after the defeat, I would say, in America. And that was the best thing I could have done, because over there I just realized that I can just be the Fabienne that I am.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about how I look, how I perform. No one knew me over there. No one expected anything from me. And I think that definitely helped me to increase that fire again.
Yeah.
To just be me and just do whatever I felt like I wanted to do.
And you kind of came back a little bit to success over in Australia, right? Yep. I think a second is that in Australia, the second place?
I had a second place at the New South Wales Open.
Yes.
That was a huge one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
how did that feel to kind of find your game again so far away from back home?
Oh, it was great. That really got me going again, because it's, that brought back the emotions that sport just brings, and that I always felt and that I always wanted and missed as well during that time in America. And, being in Australia, feeling more and more healthy again. I mean, it was a whole process, a whole journey, but feeling more and more healthy and good and, strong again, and then performing well was, I still remember the New South Wales Open. It was definitely a moment that showed me this is exactly what I want to do.
So you still remember all the shots, or? I
still remember the holes and the course, and a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot, yeah.
That's something we have too, the golfers, right? We always remember the shots.
Absolutely.
It would be good to remember the good ones, not the bad ones, right?
Absolutely.
So, and then you struggled a bit with back problems too. I don't know, was that already in the amateur years or leading into?
That was actually after, that was early stage. I had like 4 herniated discs. So back was always a bit my weak point. Also, when I went to Australia, so after coming back from America, I got back into training again, and then I had a herniated disc. So I flew over to Australia not being able to actually hit a golf ball.
All right.
And I still remember walking into that golf course in Australia. First of all, I went to a golf course, actually a funny story. I knew I needed the golf course to practice, right? Yeah. So I knew where I would study and where I would live. And then I went to that one. There are 2 golf courses. And I went to
one. Where did you study?
Manly, Sydney.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And then I walked in and I said, hey, I'm used to be a national player in Switzerland and I need a course to practice. And he looked at me, he's like, I don't think we're the right course for you. And I was like, why not? Looks good. And he was like, oh, I think you should go to Manly Golf Club. I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough, but can I still play around? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm still injured, but as soon as I can, I'll come back. And then I didn't do anything. And then I got better again. And then I actually went to the course, wanted to play 9 holes. And I realized why he said we're not the right ones. Because in Australia, you just go and play golf. Like
Yeah.
you don't need a Platzreife, right?
Yeah.
So literally the people played in their flip-flops and, crisscross and was more like urban golf than anything else. No one like screamed for or anything. So I was like, okay, this is very dangerous here. So then I walked into Manly Golf Club. It's a private club. And I said, I'd like to practice here. And I actually had interviews with the board. I had to do 3 interviews with the board to, they said, yeah, you can practice, but then you have to play interclub for us. That's huge in Australia. I said, well, yeah, I will, but I'm not healthy yet, you know. And they were like, yeah, but then as soon as you get fit, you have to play interclub for us. And I was like, yeah, great. So that was the story. But yeah, I was injured when I got there and then slowly got back into it.
Okay. And what do you think breaks first, your body or the belief in your game?
Oh, good question. Well, the body. Because the belief... It's a good question, Zeno.
Yeah.
Very good question.
That's what we're doing here.
The belief in yourself or the body? I mean, for me, it was always the body.
Yeah.
Because I was very hardworking and always had this dream, always had these high goals. And did I always believe in myself? No, probably not. But I knew what I wanted. So I worked very, very hard. And then my body was the one who stopped me from going further all the time. So I think, for me, it was always the body.
All right. Good.
But because I believed that the goals are right, it helped me to get back up.
Yeah.
Because if the belief would break first, then after the first injury, I would have probably given up.
Yeah.
And I had so many injuries that I always got back up. And I think that is because inside, I always had this
the talent.
Belief, the talent, probably not, but the belief that, the talent with the hard working, but like the belief that the dreams and the goals that I have are somehow possible.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Glad. Good question, though.
Yeah,
I like it.
Tell you. So and then you transitioned to professional, pretty much like close after Australia, and you kind of had like immediate good success on the LET, right?
I started on the Axis though.
Oh, you started
on the LET Axis series, and first year tour school I didn't make it for the LET, and then I played on the Axis tour and finished top 5 on the ranking.
Axis is the second
challenge
highest
tour,
level,
kind of,
for the ladies European, right?
So I finished 5th or top 5 in that ranking, and then that got me straight into the ladies European tour.
Yeah, and what was the biggest adrenaline moment in your experience on the LET?
I mean, there's so many moments because I'm definitely feeling the nerves. I'm telling you, I always did, and I still do. Even now in my job, I still feel the nerves. But it's pretty easy. It's the Olympics.
All right.
First shot at the Olympics. I think I was struggling.
So, but how do you handle the nerves then?
Good question. Maybe I'll take the example of the Olympics. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
So, I dreamt about the Olympics since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I worked for that goal for 7 years, very specifically. And then suddenly you stand at that first tee, knowing that this dream is becoming reality right now. And I felt everything. And I literally told my caddy on the way from the clubhouse to the first tee, I told him, we can turn around now. Like we could watch the Olympics very nicely, at the Olympic Village, with a bit of chips, a bit of popcorn, even a beer for him. I didn't even care. So I was like very relaxed. Okay, we can just watch it. So he didn't react. I was like, okay, then let's do this. But 5 minutes before I teed off, I asked him, do I grip my club like this or like that? So I literally had no idea anymore. I was there and I knew I need to change something because I had all these thoughts of like, I don't belong here. Like these are the best athletes in the world. What am I doing here? and I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm gonna embarrass myself and the whole of Switzerland in a few moments. And all these thoughts were running through my mind, and I realized they're not helpful.
Yeah.
Right? Anything but helpful.
Anything but, yeah.
And then, of course, I prepared for that moment. I knew which tools I need in order to deal with that. So what I did, first of all, is I accepted it. I said, hey, it's absolutely fine that you guys, in terms of like thoughts, that you're here, right?
Yeah.
I understand that you're completely freaking out, because I would be too in your situation. But I told them, I was like, I don't have time right now. I need to actually hit that shot.
Mm-hmm.
But over there is a really nice coffee place. Here's 5 Swiss francs. You go, you grab a coffee, and when I'm done here, I'll come over and we can talk about it. So that was the first thing that I did. I sent my thoughts to a coffee, to grab a coffee, and I gave them 5 Swiss francs.
Did they not come back more
energetic? Some of them came back, and I said, okay, there's another 5 Swiss francs, grab a Gipfeli as well, you know. So, and that's still something I do nowadays. I accept these thoughts instead of pushing them away, because that's the easiest thing you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to fight against these thoughts. You want to push them away, but that uses so much energy. So instead, I accepted them and I said, hey, you know, it's okay, but go grab a coffee and I'll come over when I'm done. So that was definitely the first thing that I did, to kind of calm myself down a little bit. And the other thing that really helped me in that shot particularly was pre-shot routine. We all know them. We all know how important it is. And of course, I had a very specific pre-shot routine that I've worked on for so many years, right? It's very detailed. It was very, very specific. And what I did on that first tee, I commentated it like a TV commentator.
Yeah. Like today.
Exactly. I already practiced, so for what I do now. So I literally went there and I said, she's doing the practice swing at 60% to slow everything down. She walks 2 meters behind the ball, blah, blah, blah. And
you did that out loud?
No, in my mind. Right. In my mind.
It would have been funny too.
Yeah, well, why not? But literally talked myself through my step-by-step routine. Mm-hmm. And I know nowadays when I'm commentating on TV, while I'm speaking, I can't think about what I'm going to cook for dinner, because you're in that moment. That's all you can think about. So when you're commentating your routine, there's no more space for negative thoughts, or anxiety or something like that. So these two were probably the biggest ones to get me going. Get me going good.
The coffee place and the self-moderation.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Like that. I mean, yeah, it's definitely true. Like, I think I've worked on that too once with one of my, mental coaches, where you actually, like you say, you kind of just... when I have no one to talk to on the go, I just start talking to myself.
Absolutely.
But I'm like sometimes even out loud.
Yeah, and
so people walk next to you, they're just like, what?
What is he doing?
Like, I'm not talking to you. Just leave me alone. Yeah. But yeah.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, when I talk to people and I say, hey, just talk to yourself, they're like, I can't talk to myself. And I'm like, we're talking to ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we have roughly 80,000 thoughts a day. Plus minus.
Oh, I never counted.
Yeah, well, it's about 80,000, okay? And some more, some less.
Okay.
I have maybe a little bit more, but that's okay. And these thoughts, that's self-talk, and people don't realize. So everything that we think about is self-talk. So why not make that self-talk positive?
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
definitely. Good point.
As easy as that.
Good point. Quickly going back to during your time on tour, what was the hardest part people never saw?
A lot of things. People don't see a lot of things. It's like the iceberg. You only see the top of the iceberg, and there's a lot underneath that surface. It was definitely difficult because you were alone quite a bit. So you traveled by yourself. I mean, of course, after I had my caddy with me, etc. But at the beginning, I was traveling by myself. And then, you shared room with other players, so with your competitors, and one had a great day and the other one had a bad day, and then you come back to the room at the end of the day and the mood is great. It's like it's all these times that you have to learn to deal with the successes and the failures and the defeats by yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so easy to get caught in all these things, even successes as well. It's not just a defeat. When you have successful tournaments, you're just by yourself because no one's gonna really be happy and excited because everyone wanted to win. And then when you win, they're not really happy about it, right? I think it changed a lot, but when I was on tour, it was very, how am I going to say this nicely? Competitive, good word, thank you. Competitive, maybe even a bit bitchy. We're all women, like 126 women on one spot, everyone with the same goal. I mean, I don't
We're
need
not
to
all women, huh?
No, but on our tournaments. Oh, you mean that? No, come on, no, we're not going there.
No, we're not.
But
we don't.
It's that's challenging.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Just being by yourself, and of course you can call your team, but they're at home, and it's just not the same celebrating successes and dealing with defeats when you're just traveling the world.
Yeah,
I think that was definitely a hard.
So and then now to Rio, how was it to walk for Switzerland in the open ceremony?
Difficult to put in words. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was, a dream coming true. And I remembered when I was 8 years old watching the Olympics in Lillehammer together with my parents on TV. And, when you walk into that stadium and all these memories come back and it's like suddenly it's real and it's a pinch me moment and it's goosebumps all the way. And it's literally those 3 weeks in Brazil, it was 3 weeks nonstop of goosebumps. And that's, it's very, very special. And walking into that stadium with the Swiss team, the Swiss cross on my chest, behind the Swiss flag, and can't put it into words. Definitely goosebumps.
I mean, you kind of looks like you're kind of almost in there again when you're talking about it. So
I still
awesome.
feel it, I still hear it, and it's, I do a lot of keynote speeches, and a lot of people always want me to talk about the Olympics, and I always feel like it's been so long, it's been in 2016, and but they still want to hear about it, and I was like, okay, and I set a rule for myself, and I said, I am talking about it as long as I still get goosebumps.
All right.
And I still do,
You still
so
talk
it's
to your
still okay.
Grandchildren then.
Maybe.
Cool. No, but quickly, just before the games, you were diagnosed with a Lyme disease, right? How much did that still affect you at the Olympics?
Unfortunately, way too much.
All right.
So I definitely wasn't in my best shape at all. I was far away from that. And that's another thing a lot of people didn't know or didn't see when I was traveling to Rio, because it was as bad that sometimes I couldn't even get out of my bed by myself.
All right.
I was in so much pain. And the goal in Rio was literally to just start the tournament and somehow finish the tournament. So there was not about, there was no thoughts about rankings, score, results. It was literally just, how am I going to make this?
All right.
And it was actually very bad.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people didn't see, of course, because we didn't want to share
it. No one knows, yeah. So, but it was never a thought to actually not go? Or were you just too deep in it to...
No, I mean, for me, no. Because, I mean, it's a childhood dream.
Yeah.
I can't just say no because my body doesn't want to do it, right?
Yeah. So we're back to the
body versus mind. There we go.
See?
And so I answered it correctly, right?
Yeah,
there we
guess
go.
So now we got proof.
Now the full circle. It was a risk because I didn't say or tell anyone that I had Lyme disease at first. But then the pressure got so high because people, the media, the people that were talking about it, and they were like, oh, she's not performing and she can't deal with the pressure. The Olympics is a shoe size too big for her. And that was all over the place. And if you experience something like that in the outside, you know why you can't perform at the moment. And people just tell you like, or you're not good enough, right?
Yeah.
Or you can't deal with that. So yeah, I was really struggling with this. So I was low in energy anyways. I was in so much pain and had the pressure of qualifying for the Olympics. And then people just commented on things that they actually don't know about.
Yeah.
So I talked to my team and we actually decided that I think it's good to go public with this. But that was a risk. Because if I go public with that and Swiss Olympic realizes, okay, she's not healthy, she's not fit, then they might say, we're not sending you.
Yeah.
Because they have specific rules who they're sending to, right? And I knew that was a risk, but we took it. So I went public with it. It gave me a relief because I realized, or it showed me now, okay, people know why I might not be performing as well as I did before. And luckily, Swiss Olympics supported that, they helped me to fulfill my dream. So
nice.
So for me, it was never a choice of stepping back.
Yeah, always fully committed.
And the other thing as well, and a lot of people don't know that I didn't take a spot away for anyone because some sports they have these, they have these spots and they can just give 2 spots away to 2 players. And in golf, it's not like that. In golf, you literally have to qualify.
Yeah.
You have to be in the top 60 of that ranking. And if I didn't go, I couldn't have given that spot to anyone else.
Well, it would have just fallen to the next player in line, pretty much.
In line,
right?
which wasn't a Swiss player. So I think that's important to say. I didn't take a spot away from any Swiss players. So I was the one qualifying for it, so I earned the spot, and I took that spot.
And so what did you take away from that experience that still shapes you today, or
how long do we have?
You work?
Can you narrow that question down a little bit? What am I taking away? It's so much.
Yeah, like the best thing you take away, how you work these days?
Yeah, I mean, the Olympics is just what I take away and what I still use. Actually, it's on here. I have this. Anyone who would like to take one of these afterwards, they can do it. I don't actually know if it's on there.
We'll come back to that later.
I know, but it's on here.
But
it's on here to chase your milestones. Okay.
All right.
And what does that mean? It's that 7 years prior to the Olympics, I bought the Swiss flag, and I wrote on this Swiss flag, "Dream it, believe it, do it, I will." And I think what I take away from that is exactly that sentence, because if you have a dream, you can do it. You just have to work hard for it, of course. That's why you have to chase these milestones. But I think if you really want something, and if the fire is burning, and if you're willing to work hard, and if you're willing to go through all the ups and downs, you are going to make it.
Yeah.
So it showed me that what actually is possible. But it showed me so much more. So that's just a short answer.
We can make another show.
Yeah.
Another time, and then we can go deeper into that one.
Absolutely. But no, it was a great experience, and so many learnings in there, and showed me that, as I said, we can do so much more than we believe we can. And also being able to live with all these athletes in the Olympic Village and experience their struggles and learn about their struggles, and learning about, we're all humans and we're all struggling with the same things, and we all have these nerves and these thoughts and things like that. So it just showed me, it was very humbling, very humbling.
So, but good point. So like kind of after the Olympics, you stopped playing golf, or am I right? Or
kind of. I mean, I stopped the season due to that Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, I came back on the Ladies European Tour. But I realized very quickly that my body body broke me.
Okay, yeah.
So due to that Lyme disease, I actually had to stop the career at the end of 2017, just because, I was at a stage where literally I couldn't perform. I was in so much pain all the time that playing professionally just didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So then I stopped.
And what do you think was the most difficult part of the transition or moment? Well, no, you kind of like, you stand up, you have like so much time, no training plan, no more.
This was the biggest struggle. The whole process of deciding to retire was a struggle, was difficult. But then when I did retire, I didn't realize that I would struggle so much with the not having that structure. Because all I was thinking of was, oh, great, I can just live into the day for a while. I don't need every minute was planned out as a professional athlete, and suddenly I had all this day,
Yeah.
And I remember I would call my friends. I'm like, hey, should we go skiing? Now I'm here, and they're like, well, I'm working, or I have 2 kids, or, their life didn't stop, but my life did. And I didn't really realize that. And then I, definitely dropped into kind of a dark hole in that sense, because I didn't know what I was capable of doing. When you're a professional athlete, you don't get a certificate.
Yeah.
And in Switzerland, this certificate is so important, right? And of course, I finished my studies. I had a bachelor degree and everything, but that was years ago. So suddenly I was standing there thinking, like, what can I do besides playing golf? And I thought, nothing, right? And then you start to doubt yourself. You start to really question, and worry about how you're going to pay your bills and how you're going to, live your life. So I think that was the biggest struggle, to not have a structure and not being aware of what you're actually capable of doing.
Yeah. So that's actually a good transition to my next question, which is, who are you when you're no longer the golfer?
Where did you get that question from? Huh? Did you get that from me somehow?
That's coming from somewhere in here, from the 80,000 thoughts a day.
Very good, very good. No, that was a very important question that I asked myself 2 months after I retired. That was February 2018. And I was struggling. As I said, I was doubting myself a lot. And I asked myself that question, who am I? And I couldn't answer it.
Okay.
Because so far I could always say, like, hey, I'm Fabienne, I'm the professional golfer.
Yeah.
And what do you say when you're not a professional golfer anymore? And when you don't have a job, and when you actually don't even know what you are good at, right? So I was really struggling with that question, and it took a while to answer it. And I realized that so often we define ourselves through the outside, through our job, our roles, our tasks. But really, who we are doesn't depend on what we do, right? And it's often a question that I ask in workshops nowadays. When in the first workshop I say, hey, let's just make a round, who are you? And everyone answers with what they do, and that is exactly the difference. So the question, you ask me the question, who am I, right? Regardless or when I'm not a golfer anymore.
I've never been to one of your workshops.
There you go. But it took a while to answer that. And now I know that I would answer that question very differently, because nowadays I would answer it, I'm a very authentic person. I'm a very passionate person. And of course, still very disciplined. That talent is still going. And I just love to share the experiences and the know-how that I gained as a professional athlete and now as an entrepreneur, and to support people in achieving their dreams. But it's a lot more who I am personally than the job that I have.
So there was actually never a Fabienne without golf. So you kind of had to
Well, before 10 years old, yeah.
Like, yeah, of course, but you
But
kind of
not
have
yet.
to, after you're done golf, like you kind of have to invent a new Fabienne, or
Yeah.
like going into
Or
this a
looking
little bit.
deeper. I think it's more looking deeper
Looking
because,
deeper, yeah.
everyone should actually ask themselves the question, who am I, regardless of what I do?
Yeah,
Because I was always a very passionate person. Since I was a little girl, I was always very disciplined, and what values are important to me, what strength and skills do I have? And I think this is what makes us as a person, and
Yeah.
not the outside, not the job.
I like that. So,
Have you thought about that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
But I
Do you want
haven't
to answer
answered
it?
it yet. We can do this maybe another day. No, I mean, I don't know. Who am I? Like, I'm probably a really caring person
There we go.
to my friends and everybody. I'm also like competitive, really competitive, I would say. I mean, everything I do, I just want to win. So yeah, that's just a short answer from
It's a very good start.
Who am I?
Well done.
I mean, there's probably a couple more things, but I haven't prepared for that yet,
Well, I haven't prepared for your questions.
But yeah,
couldn't,
I think
but it's good.
I'm an open-minded person too. So
Yeah. See, and these things are so important because that is what guides you through life in the end, And I often say, think about your biggest struggles that you've had and what helped you to get through it. And these are the traits and the skills and the strength and the values that kind of build who you are.
yeah. So then you founded your company Milestones, right? When did you think, okay, this might actually work?
Well, first it wasn't Fabienne In-Albon Milestones. First it was another company, like a coaching company. And that was literally, as I said, like I was 2 months in that kind of darkish hole. Then I asked myself the question, who am I? And a lot more other questions. And then I decided I want to become self-employed.
All right.
And then 3 months later, I launched my first company. So I knew that it's kind of working, and it did work, and it paid my bills, and it was actually going okay, but it wasn't true Fabienne. Let's put it that way. And then Fabienne In-Albon Milestones happened during COVID because I had, again, a lot of time to think. So when you have time to think, you start to reflect, and through that reflection, I really thought about what I learned through my time as a professional athlete, and what are the things that I took away, and that built the base for Fabienne In-Albon Milestones. So,
All right.
And then when I had all of that together, I knew that this is 100% me, and I know this is going to work.
All right.
But again, it was a process.
Yeah.
As everything in life,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
see.
process.
And like you said before, you also work as a TV expert for Swiss radio and TV.
Yep.
Let's put it that way. So how does that compare, that pressure to being in front of the camera compared to standing on the first tee yourself?
It's exactly the same.
Same?
And maybe that's because I love it so much, because it's, the first time I did it, I'm still very nervous, but the first time I did it, I had no idea about live TV. And you have this producer in your ear, and
The ones you send to the coffee place.
well, I can't send him to the coffee place because he'll need that producer. But he would literally tell me in my ear, like, okay, Fabienne, in 5 seconds, you're on.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't have time to think about what you want to say. And you know me a little bit, so I'm very structured. I like to be prepared. Well, live TV, of course, you prepare a lot, but then on the spot, you literally have to perform. And you're standing there in front of the camera, and it's just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And then you need to perform. And it's live TV, so you should perform, right? You can't just stand there thinking like,
Well, it could be a
I don't
funny
know.
moment too, no?
So that was, it was exhausting.
Yeah.
The first few times I did it, it was very exhausting, but so much fun, because this is exactly what I need to get into that flow. We love to hear the flow or the zone, and that pressure really puts me there.
All right.
And I love it. Yeah.
Nice. Fabienne actually stole the idea from me once.
Oh, what idea did I?
No. She came up to me in Holzhausen and she asked, "Hey, what could we talk about?" And I was like, "Well, the big freaking tree in front of Green 18." And she's like, "No, that's not that good." And then I went home, watched TV, and she's talked exactly about that.
Did I not mention Senofeld?
No,
I'm sorry.
Mentioned it.
That's the job of a TV expert.
I was crying at home. I wasn't mentioned.
That's the job of a TV expert, gathering all the information and then, choosing the best ones. But well done. This is my time now to thank you for this fantastic idea.
Next time I'm going to put a price tag on it. Thank you.
I'll come again this year.
Sure.
If you have ideas, just write them down.
Come by to me or just send me a text.
Copyright, Senofeld.
Just send me a message what you could talk about.
Sure.
No, but coming back to Fabienne In-Albon Milestones, I think you use a tool, accept, interrupt, and organize. Can you walk us through that? Maybe apply a real situation to it?
I mean, accept is pretty good because that's pretty much what I did at the Olympics, right?
Yep.
Accept the thoughts that they're here, and then the interrupt is the stop. You got to stop these thoughts. You got to take them on board and say, "Hey, but listen, guys, stop for a second. You go grab a coffee." Organize. I wouldn't say organize. I would rather say focus.
Okay.
Because when they're at their coffee, having their coffee, having their chit chats, whatever, then I got to focus again. I got to think about, okay, what is important now? What do I need to focus on? What is, what is the next shot about? Or even, speaking on TV, what is the next player I need to focus on? And so I would say accept, interrupt, and then, or interrupt in a nicer way, sending them for a coffee or a beer or whatever.
Give them $5.
Absolutely, and then focus.
All right.
Or refocus again.
Yep. Yeah, makes sense. And so you kind of work with sports people, with companies, with like groups and private, like just single people, I think.
I do a lot.
Yeah, but
it's. I wouldn't say I work with athletes anymore. I started with athletes or sports people. But I realized I'm way too close.
Okay.
So I take it home and I can't, it's just too close because I know exactly how they feel and what they go through. And so I refocused a little bit, and now I pretty much work with individual people who just want to, work on themselves. I work with companies, with leaders, with golfers who just want to become better golfers, as well. And hosting events, keynotes. So it's very broad, but it's always with the same message, and that's transforming that athlete's mindset to these people, and sharing these tools and
so
that I gained.
What would be a tool like? Okay, let's
like
say
the coffee place is a tool, for example, because you can use that at work, for example, as well. You can use that on the golf course.
Just send your co-workers to the coffee place.
Exactly.
Just fuck off.
I'm not saying, I didn't send my caddy to the coffee. I still took him with me. It's more your inner co-workers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sometimes I sent my caddy to the moon as well.
Did you?
I always got him back. So.
Yeah. He always landed.
Yeah, he always landed safely.
Yeah, caddy is also a really important part of the whole...
Absolutely.
Mentally, I guess, too, right? So, but what's something you work on with people today that you didn't live yourself when you were still playing golf?
I would say I live, sounds weird, but I live what I preach. So I work exactly on the things that I went through as an athlete. And why with businesses? Because it's exactly the same. So they have to deal with pressure moments. They have to focus a lot because there's so many things happening in life. Not just business people, anyone, but there's so many things happening in life that we need to learn how to focus and how to set priorities. And that was exactly the same that I need to do on a golf course when all these cameras are in front of you and all the spectators and the pressure and the sponsors and things like that. So how do you focus? And so that's a big part. Another big part is is courage, you know, to step out of your comfort zone and do the things that you might not feel ready yet, you know, and also the resilience to not just give up when something doesn't go as planned. So to sum it up, my company is built on 4 key points, I would say. And these 4 key points are my key learnings from my time as a professional athlete. And that is clarity, courage, focus, and resilience. And so that's why I work exactly on the things that I learned in my time as a professional athlete. I work with them now in their private life, in their business life, on the golf course. So yeah, I think I just took what I experienced in golf and I transformed it. Yeah. But of course, if I think now, you know, and I had all this knowledge that I have now, when I had it back then, what would have been possible? Because, you know, you need time to reflect. You need time to process all of that. And of course, a lot of that happened afterwards, of course.
Yeah, so everyone talks a lot about mindset. But what is an uncomfortable truth about that people don't want to hear?
One thing is definitely that they don't want to talk about it because they can't grab it, right? If you, give you an example, if you go to the gym working on your biceps, right?
Yeah, I will.
So you start tomorrow, okay? Today I'll give you, but then you
I'll
start tomorrow.
Monday.
Monday.
Sunday I'm not going to start.
So then you lift a certain weight. Okay.
1 kilogram.
Maybe. Let's start small, okay? And then a week after, you know, maybe you're still at 1, but then the week after you see progression and then you maybe have 2 kilos, right? Well done, Tedo. And so you see it. You see that you get stronger. You even see it physically, you know, suddenly, you know, maybe you can put the microphone still holds up.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put the microphone up next time and and so
I'm getting fried today. Yeah?
Sorry. But that's something you can see, right? Yeah. Results you can see. You know, when you play golf, you know, you either shoot par or you shoot 10 over, you can see it. And the mindset, it's very difficult to see. And it takes a long time to feel the difference. And that's why a lot of people don't want to talk about it because they're like, well, it's just not, you know, it's not visible. Can you ask the question again? I don't think I've answered it.
I think it's a good answer.
That's a good answer,
yeah,
okay.
I think so. What's the uncomfortable truth about mindset that people don't want to hear? And I think it's...
That's one answer. The other answer is, you know, you have to look into the mirror and be very transparent with yourself. And a lot of people, they don't have the courage to do that.
To look into the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to actually think about yourself and ask yourself these uncomfortable questions and not just answer them with a yes or no. That's why it's very important to get support. You know, I have support in that. I work with coaches and mentors and things like that because even though I know all these questions because it's part of my job, I sometimes still need people to help me go deeper and to really find the real truth. And I think a lot of people are scared to see the real truth. But if they would be a bit more courageous, knowing that once you're there, it just opens up so many doors. And it's such an amazing feeling that, you know, they just should have a bit more courage to look into that mirror and be very true and clear to yourself.
And yeah, just one more question before we go to the stingers. What would you advise a young Swiss player that wants to become a professional?
Enjoy. I think it's that. Really enjoy the game, enjoy the highs and lows, and just be very grateful that you can do what you can do. Because I think we all start playing the game and start loving the game. And when you turn professional, this can sometimes disappear for some people because suddenly it's all that pressure and suddenly it's the job, suddenly it's about earning money, suddenly it's about, you know, getting your life sorted, etc. And then you somehow lose that joy for the game and you take it very serious. And I was there too. You probably know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep, been there too.
And going back and just enjoying the game and playing the game, I think that is so important. And being very present and, grateful that you can do what you're doing.
All right. Good. We'll post that for sure. Also,
but I mean, it's not, to be honest, it's not just for a young player
everyone,
who wants to, become a professional golfer. I think it's with anything that we do. We just got to be more grateful, more in the present, more in the now, and just enjoy the successes, but also enjoy the lows because they make us the people we are.
Yeah,
so.
Like it, yeah. So now we're going to come to the stinger questions.
Oh, dear. Mm-hmm.
Normally, Madhu would be here for them,
but
sadly, so I'll do them today. With just 5.
Should I be nervous?
No.
Okay.
I think you'll be fine for those. So, what is your favorite golfer or favorite swing right now?
Right now, or can I go to the past? It's still, but they're maybe not as present anymore to some people. But for me, it was always Luke Donald.
All right.
Our captain.
Yeah, our captain. Third time in a row now.
I loved watching him and just so smooth. And he's not the longest hitter, so that's why I kind of... So I felt like, and he got to number 1 in the world, and he wasn't a long hitter. So I loved watching him, and I love the swing of Anne van Dam.
All right.
She just has a break right now. She became a mom, but I shared a lot of rooms with her. And she's so athletic, and I always loved watching her.
Nice. And what's your favorite club in the bag?
Now or then? Now I don't know. Now it's
know?
Hidden Hope, right? But
don't touch the bag.
It's like, ooh. Now literally it's a bit more Hidden Hope. But as a professional, it was definitely my pitching wedge.
All right.
Always my pitching wedge.
That's a new.
I loved it.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Pitching wedge. At the end, I loved my hybrid as well.
All right.
Because with these 2 clubs, I could do anything.
All right. Nice.
Nowadays, as I said, it's a bit... it changes a lot.
Love-hate relationship.
No, it just changes every round.
All right. And what's the worst advice you've ever received?
The worst?
The worst, yeah. That's Madhu's favorite question, actually.
Okay. I received a lot of bad.
What's the worst?
If we're already talking about me being not a long hitter, it's definitely like, just hit it harder. I'm like, I can't. I love that. I was like, thank you. I just can't. And you were definitely one of them who probably gave me that tip once in a while.
No.
Fabsy, just hit it harder.
No, I just stood next to you and just hit it harder.
Yeah, well, there we go. But that was definitely one that annoyed me a lot. Or now, not to me, but when I see a lot of people, I observe a lot more nowadays. So when I see others giving others tips, I think the worst is definitely keep your head down.
Yeah, we had that a couple times.
This is so bad. I was like, a lot of people probably don't even know what they mean with that.
Yeah,
but
So
But for me, it was just hit it harder. Like, just try.
Hit it harder. What's the most clutch shot you've ever hit?
There's so many in my memory. I have to go because we talked about it. I have to go with the Olympics, the first tee shot.
All right.
That was the shot of my life. Let's be honest. I hit this golf shot 60 meters further than I have ever hit a golf shot before.
So you hit it harder.
I did hit it harder. Finally, I managed to hit it harder.
It's not that hard.
As easy as this. I just sent them for a coffee and then just hit it harder.
So it was a good advice at all.
Yeah, probably. Just took a while to process for me. I don't think I did hit it harder. I think everything just,
I think you did.
Matched.
I think you did.
Oh, well. But that was great.
Yeah. And what's your dream foursome, dead or alive?
It's funny because last year I said that I got pretty close to my dream foursome when I played golf with Nino Niederreiter, ice hockey player, NHL player. I played golf with Jan Billeter. And I played golf with Andreas Caminada, the Michelin star chef. And I played golf with Roger Federer. And with these 4 people together, so I think this is a
but
pretty...
that's a fivesome at the
Well,
end, right?
yeah, who cares?
Doesn't count. It's not
cares?
legal.
Who cares? When Roger Federer is with us, it's okay.
So who do you take out of those 4?
No, none of them. Maybe me. Maybe I should caddy, you know.
All right. No, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
That was a pretty good foursome.
All right.
Fivesome.
Fivesome, yeah. That's a new. Cool. Nice. So we just have a couple more wrap-up questions before we come to an end. And let me see. What was the biggest lesson life has taught you through everything you have experienced?
You ask me all these huge questions that I literally could write a book about.
We're a big podcast, you know.
I mean, you could write a book about these.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, we can do that later. The biggest lesson, I bring that example quite a lot. I don't know if it's a good answer, but let's go. Let's just try. Let's go with it. Life is a roller coaster, right? Goes up and down and up and down. And in the past, I always got sick on that roller coaster, right? With the highs and the lows, and it's like so fast and everything. And I think you have to learn to ride that roller coaster without getting sick and without feeling sick. And this is what I did, because my life is still an absolute roller coaster. But now I've learned to enjoy it, and I've learned ways to help me not get sick. And I think this is a huge step, because life is not getting easier at all. If it just gets harder and faster, and I think we need to learn to adapt, and we need to learn to enjoy these ups and downs. So
yeah, I like that.
One of them. There's so many, but
good.
It's just one of them.
And but so now I just quickly want to come back to your card thing you have with you there. So you want to explain what that is, because we have a couple of them on the bar. So everybody, if you want to take one with you,
more than happy to take them.
Happy to take one.
Yep. You know,
Fabienne is going to explain it now.
Well, there's not much to explain, because when you open it, you literally take the first card and you look on the back, and then it should be very clear. But I mean, it's just, we talked about what I do nowadays, right? With the personality and team development and transforming that athlete's mindset. And the athlete's mindset is right in here. So every month on here, January till December, of course, now January is past, we should look into, what do we have now? April. So we take the April card, and there's an inspirational quote on there to give you some motivation, and then turn it around, and there's a challenge for each month. And I work a lot with a 1% routine. So, you know, changes or integrating change is not an easy thing. We all know that. We all don't like change. But when we focus on small steps, like the 1% steps, you know, we will get better, we will get further, and we will make life easier. And sometimes we often focus on the huge things, you know, and like the New Year's resolution. Everyone is so excited and everyone is going to the gym, and now the gyms are empty, right? Not saying anything, Zeno.
Tough day for me today.
I didn't say anything. But so how can we make it more sustainable? And with these little challenges, you can make it more sustainable and integrate these little routines into your life. And every month has a challenge. And there are also cards in there that's where you can create your own challenge, you know.
Right.
So this is just a little giveaway to, so that you can learn about the athlete's mindset as well.
Great. Thank you very much. So, and now we have the question from our last guest, which I was really happy when he actually asked this, because I thought it's perfect for Fabienne. And so his question is, how do you get that that degree of detachment under pressure, or how do you maintain detachment under pressure?
Detachment.
Yeah.
So, do you want to get detachment of this? That's another question. I would have liked to ask him that.
Yeah, he's not here.
He's not here. Okay. So how can you detach from the pressure? This is pretty much what he wants to.
I think he meant like how do you just focus onto
what you need to do. Okay, so
what's
not
at
really
stake.
detaching, but like how can you still perform?
Yeah, like
under pressure?
detaching from your goals and just stay
In the
I
present.
think it's probably that's how he meant it. Yeah,
in the present. Very good question, and I think it's pretty much what I've said.
Yeah.
All day, not, but
True.
all evening, right? It's first of all, sending everything that is disturbing you, is not really helping you in this moment. Sending them for a coffee or a beer or whatever. That's the first step, and then refocusing again on the golf course. It would be commentating your routine, for example. At work, it would be something like doing a little exercise to get back into the present moment, which is as easy as just listen.
Yeah.
When you're at the office, just listen and think about what sounds can you hear. Because when you listen, you can't think about, the pressure that you have. So doing little exercises like that to get you back in the present moment, to then be able to perform again, whatever you need to perform.
Perfect. Yeah. I think he'll be happy with this one.
Good, glad.
And what's your question for our next guest?
Oh, I should have thought about that.
I shouldn't have told you.
Yeah, you didn't tell me. I mean, I knew that. I've heard the podcast, but I should have. Do we know who's next?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't have told you anyways.
I have one. I got asked this question once, and I loved it. What is your favorite defeat or failure in your life? Your favorite?
Good question.
Thank you. Yeah, because really, like, even you think about it. What is your favorite, like, defeat and or failure or moment of failure, and why is it the favorite one?
Yeah.
Because it will show you a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what it will show you, but it will show you a lot.
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to
so
whoever
not just
is next.
What is it, but also why. I would like to hear why it's the favorite one.
I'm gonna write it down exactly
Perfect.
like this. No, so Fabienne, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Brian, Andy, Yannick on the camera, Swiss PGA, our partner, Video Chops, you, the audience, thank you very much for being here. And Fabienne, thanks a lot. It was an absolute pleasure. Anselmo Felder, this is the 19th hole. Take your swing, believe in your next shot, and we'll see you next time here on the Live Talk. And now we quickly have Fabienne.
Oh dear.
I know.
Oh no.
There's a golf club back there for you. So let's see how good you. If it's your it's not a pitching wedge, but it's a wedge. I'm a
former golf professional, just so you know.
I mean, Lucas is not a professional and he's closest so far.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much. Huh?
Thanks.
Well, for him. Well done, Zeno. for all these great questions.
My pleasure. Oh, in the water.
No, not so bad, so we'll do it again. Now listen, I'm going to hold it.
Perfect.
Just hit it harder, Fabienne.
Yeah. Oh, good shot. Nice.
First one we cut out.
Everybody saw it. No, thank you very much and see you next time. Thanks a lot.